Joe and Ron for the remainder of this game. Looks like we just missed the start. Apologies on that, but we managed to catch the few darts. With second or third dart from Joe there. Solid 100 from Ron Sargent. And again, if you're just joining us, this is the semifinal between Ron Sargent and Joe Ricard. Joe besting Justin Burke, and Ron Sargent besting Roberto Santos. Their opening matches, and Ron doing well to find the triple bet off the start here. Finds the 140, big darts. Solid visit from Ron. Again, if you don't know, but you probably do, these guys play together a lot, play against each other a lot. A solid 180 from Joe. Huge visit. Joe has a way of saying, well, hey, if you can do that, I'm going to do it better. What can Ron do? Well, he can't find the 180, but again, another 140. Bombs away for both of these guys tonight. Look at that average from Ron after 3. And Joe just running out of steam. Can't find the third one. What can Ron do with 121? Are we looking at a 4 visit? 61. Looks like he has the bull if he wants to go for it. Will he do it, though? Questions for Ron. And he elects to go for it, just shy of finding his target. You can see a little bit of a friendly smirk on Joe's face there. He knows that even though he missed, it wasn't too far off. And Joe trying to break down this 199 into a little bit more manageable bite. Does well to leave himself 100. Joe, Ron having to correct 25 here. We like to go the 9s or the 5s. Finds that first 9. Double 8. Just inside. Can't quite find it. And Joe with a little bit of breathing room after a rather frightening start from Ron. Oh, he won't find it. 25 score, leaving himself 75. And he can't find the triple. So Ron will have 3 at 8. The dreamboat, as he wants to be called. It ain't no thing. 3 darts, well, 2 darts at double 4. And just high. And the dreamboat finding turbulent waters. Leaving Joe a little bit of a lifeline here. And Tops has been his friend. And Tops continues to be his best pal tonight. Joe once again finding Tops. Ruthless finish. Opportunity that Ron more or less gave away for free. Joe did very well to find that opening leg. It's quite frightening when your opponent fires in big scores, back to back, puts a lot of pressure on you. As we learned from Mike Carignan last week, that staying cool and composed under pressure is really the secret sauce of darts. Solid 100 there from Joe. And Ron with a perfect first. Answers right back with 100. Both guys putting immediate pressure on each other. And Ron's 100 causing Joe to slip a little bit. Can he find another? Looks like 81. This is what you love to see, both as an audience and as a commentator. Is great darts out of the gate. Getting everything going. Exciting stuff. Always wonderful. Looks like Joe firing in another consistent 60 here. And once again, Ron finding the triple 20 with that first dart, laser locking into it. The second one gets away from him a little bit. The third one finding its way down to the single 19s. Still a good visit. 80 put up on the board there. And Joe still has plenty of space to work with. He'll be feeling confident he can bring this down and put the pressure right back on. Just shy of the triple bed, knocking his score down to 200. Ron sitting at 216. Unfortunate second there, just finding its way outside, the other side of the fence. Does well to find that single bull. Would have wanted the big red button there. No finish for Ron. Joe sitting at 200 can do very well to leave himself handy here. Well, like to find the triple if he can. Just can't. Again, the grouping of Joe, so good. Sometimes it can be more of a foe than a friend. When he starts off high, you feel like his darts elect to stay high more often than not. And Ron doing very well to continue bringing that score down. Joe sitting at 140. Finds the first. Unlucky second bouncing out. So frustrating when your dart is on target to fill up the bed and the flight's just unfortunately get in the way. 70 left for Ron. Does he like to go the single 20 route? Finds the trip 18. And he finds it. Big take from Ron, firing right back. Joe, nothing but a shake of the head there, knowing that, well, that's just what Ron is capable of. Dreamboat setting sail. Tying up this set one leg apiece. Joe certainly not waiting around, getting things going with an 85. But Ron, again, laser locking into that triple 20 bed. There's two in there. Oh, and the third one had a mind of its own, refusing to follow. And choosing to go into uncharted territory there. Unfortunate and unlucky visit from Joe. All great darts. Solid 60. Not badly placed either. And Ron looking again for another huge score. Likes to go downstairs with the two flights blocking. Just can't squeak his way in to find another triple. Big 94 visit though. Both guys certainly playing well out of the gate. Felt like Joe was struggling a little bit against Justin. Playing in the mud quite a bit, more often than he would have liked. But Ron putting the pressure on immediately and demanding the best out of Joe. And again, this is the type of darts that these guys routinely play against each other and play with each other. Playing together so often at tournaments and locally. They certainly know what makes each other tick, and they are willing to put that on display for each other. 85 put in from Ron. Looks like he just can't find a triple. 45 for Joe. Again, doing well to find that triple 20, placing it so beautifully, leaving himself so much space in that bed. Another 85 is exactly what Ron would have wanted to see there. 116 is a comfortable out. Ron is certainly capable of, and the darts just won't find their way into the red bit for Joe. Ron looking at 116, what can he do? 96 left. Can't find it. Will look to leave himself handy. Goes a little high, trying to reel it in. Cheering his buddy on. Saying, hey Joe, you got a ticket on the Dreamboat. Price of admission is reeling in the big fish. And it looks like he'll have to settle for just a guppy for now. No big fish on the menu for Mr. Ricard. Does well to hit the 60 though, but Ron looking at 56 take, 2 at tops. And just can't find it. Breath of fresh air for Joe. 110 is certainly in his wheelhouse. And he'll want to find it right here if he can. 90 left. Chooses to stay there, but unfortunate, just not budging. And 70 left. Finds the triple. Great setup shot there, but not what he would have wanted to get going with. Ron 3 at tops. 2 10s. 1 double 5. And he's so unlucky. He can't find it. Hits the big 5 to leave himself 5. Joe, you feel he can find this just inside. A little bit of a reset. And again, just outside. Joe struggling to find his doubles when he gets to the lower part of the board here. Ron will have to do well to find this correction. He does. Chooses to go to the madhouse. And that's why they call it the madhouse. Thank you, Ron, for not throwing the dart at the camera or the board. We appreciate that. And Joe, 2 2s. 1 needed. And he can't find it again. The double 1 choosing to be ever so elusive tonight for both guys. Again, we haven't seen the other matches tonight, but you feel that something's in the air. And Ron, there he goes. Throwing anchors overboard. And Ron, frustrated that he can't find it, but Joe looking to cash in at these opportunities. Double 2. And he finds it with the third one. Big take from Joe. Not the biggest numerically, but maybe just morale-wise, he would have loved to find that. Would have hated to give that up. Obviously, anybody would. But when your opponent gives it to you, you certainly feel inclined to take it. And Ron looking to defend his throw here. Only finding 60 out of the gate. What can Joe do to get going here? Looks like a single 5. Finds the triple. Looks like another one at the single 5 there, so 70 on the board for Joe. Ron looking to try and scramble his way back to some decent points, and he finds it with that third one. 100 on the board there. Does very well to put himself back in the race, but Joe can't quite find the 180. Will love a 140. And again, just refuses to go in. Back-to-back 100s for both players. Ron so unlucky with that second one. And another 100, 3 in a row. Putting on a little bit of a scoring clinic, these guys are. And Joe will look to keep it going. Certainly looks like he's in a good position to do so. Oh, Joe, the third one, a little bit sloppy with the 81. Rounds off the odd number, but Ron looking to punish that one single mistake. And he does with the 2 triple visit. 137 fired in from Ron. That's how valuable every single dart is for these guys. Joe trying to find something. And unlucky. Clattering of metal as his dart refused to go in. Ron knocking things down. No out this visit. Try to correct. A bit of a sloppy visit there from Ron. Certainly leaves Joe the opportunity to set himself up for success. But will he take it? Looks like we might have a bit of a score contention here. Joe keeping track of Ron's score. Looks like Ron's correcting. How often these guys play together, there's not going to be any hard feelings there. Joe going to have to correct to leave himself something worthwhile. Just shy of doing so. 50 scored. Leaving himself 160. It's a big ask, and Ron with an easier out. 56 remaining. And unlucky on the Ron side of the fence there. Does well to correct, but not the opportunity that he would have wanted to give away. Not another one at least. And Joe, with the out of the night, if he can find the first one, can't do so. Can't find the third either. Tough darts there from Joe. Suspense was certainly leading up to something big, but Ron looking to defend his throw and take this 40 out and, well, rather drama-free take, and he delivers. First dart in there, and we have a tied set 2-2. Joe will have the throw in the tiebreaker. What can he do to start? Only a 45 fired in. Ron will be looking to punish this out of the gate. Even a solid 60 will do well to reverse, but the more he can bank in, the better. 100 is a great way to get things going. This tiebreaker leg. Joe once again coming back with the big first. Looks like 80 on the board. Doing well to keep his scoring up there with Ron. Ron is just blowing up the triple bet with the first dart, and the second one follows suit. Finds the 180. Couldn't find a cleaner 180 if you asked for it. All those darts looked level with each other as well. Big visit from Ron. Joe unable to answer with a triple of his own, only 60. Ron with a lot of daylight between him and Joe, but that one will do him no favors. Trying to find something to salvage this visit. And the flight pushing it up. 41. Leaves him 180, no out. Joe with a lot of work to do from 316. Finds one triple. Solid 100 there from Joe. 216 is not something he can get out with, but set himself up if Ron fails to put in a big visit here. Does very well to find the bullseye with that third. 85 fired in. Joe needing something big. That's a great start. Fortunate third. If he'd hit the one, that would have been rather unlucky. Leaving himself an odd number. Looks like 83 fired in from Joe. And Ron, 95 left. Does he choose to go the 19s? Elects to try it. Finds the correction. And he can't quite find the double 14. Joe with a huge opportunity. Firing a 1-3-3 looks like a little bit of math mistake both by Ron and myself. Apologies, everybody. Sitting at 114 left. No out. 54 remaining for Joe. Single 14 will certainly leave him handy. And he can't find it. He will have to burn a dart on the next visit. And Ron looking like in a great position to take this opening set. Finds it with the first. No faffing around at all. Ron saying, sayonara, I'm out of here with this first set. Locking that in and putting that in the bank. The way Joe was playing towards the end there, locking that set in is huge for Ron. What can he do to get things going? Choosing to start off big in the second set. Solid 140 fired in by Ron. Joe under a lot of pressure here right out of the gate. Finding it in the third. 81 scored for Joe. Not a bad visit. A little bit of a score update here. Tom Curtin's up 1-0 in sets over Nick Soldo. We might get the opportunity to jump over there, depending on how this match plays out. 83 fired in by Ron. And only 55 from Joe. Unlucky to sink that into the 555. Only 45 in response by Ron. Couple of stray darts here and there are keeping things close. Joe can certainly come back, but 2 ones, just a punishing visit. Does very well to find that third one into the triple 20, but the 2 first darts just not doing him any favors, unfortunately. 26 in there by Ron. 45. Letting Joe slowly creep back into this leg. Only 70 points away. Not the triple he was hoping to find. Joe doing very well, though, to keep his head above water. What can Ron do here? Firing in a 55. Again, maybe some nerves. Maybe something else. Couple of wayward darts from both guys here. Knocking the scoring down just a bit in the second set here. 85 fired in by Joe. Great darts, great visit. .57 fired in by Ron. Fortunately, no out for Joe. That first one would have been wonderful. If he was on an out, can only set up from here. It does very well to do so. 99 fired in by Joe. Great visit, but will Ron give him the opportunity to have a look? Judging by that first one, there'll be no peeks given. 2 8s. Can't find it, just outside. Even Joe's checking all the way from the back there. Not quite believing the demeanor of Ron. 2 it tops. And once again, double 20 choosing to be so friendly for Joe tonight. You feel that if Joe can find either the second or third dart on that double 20 bed, he's gonna take it. Doing well to get out when he can, but the stats not favoring him if he can't find it and has to find his way to the lower parts of the board. Ron only firing in 43. Plenty of opportunity for Joe. Not the visit that anybody would have wanted there. Only 30 from Joe. What can Joe do here? Only a 60 visit. Nothing terrible, but keeping his darts straight. Ron looking to find a little bit of that scoring magic that he was able to find so plentiful in the opening set. Looks like another 60 fired in. And Joe can do very well to keep himself calm and focused as he drills down these points. Another 60 fired in. Nothing bad. No need to panic just yet. Ron following with another 60 of his own, keeping things close. You feel that Joe's in a great position here to start building a little bit of momentum. That might be just outside. Looks like he does gain a little bit of momentum there with the 100. Nope, only an 85. And Ron, once again, being pressured but answering the call. What can he find here? Only 89. Hinting at that triple 19, but just barely missing. And Joe, not feeling set with that first one. Seeing his reaction there. Joe doing a little bit of math here. How can he set himself up for the next visit? Likes to stay there with the 45. Ron not really finding much either. Seems like the scoring bug has come and gone, and both gentlemen trying to find something here. And Joe, 157. Can't find it this time, but can keep things going, set himself up, and again, the anti-scoring bug. Looks like we might have an invader from the anti-Worcester Premier League cursing these guys with low scores. But knowing how these two play, they'll certainly find it. Get that monkey off their back. 94 fired in by Ron. Right as I said that, he comes and delivers the goods. Joe working from 114. 94 remaining. We'll look for the triple 18. Can't find it. Only 58 fired in. Ron looking at triple 16 as the most likely option here to leave himself tops. Chooses to go for 20s. 68 remaining. Will he go for bull? Chooses to go for the 16. Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship from Ron saying to Joe, I know you're not going to take it out. What can Joe do with 56? Finds the first. And again, finds the second. A clinical take from Joe. Might be a bit of a game error there from Ron. Saying, Joe, you don't have this stuff. And Joe turning around and going, oh yeah, I do. Dreamboat struggling to find a little bit of wind in his sails in this set. Joe taking everything out of him so far, leading this set 2-0. As we get things going here in this third leg, a score update. Tom has taken the other semifinal match 2-0 over Nick Soldo, firing in a 79.02, just shy again of the 80 average Cliff. Nick firing in a 59.17. Didn't get a chance to look at the full stats of that game, but Tom certainly playing well tonight. Whoever wins this match between Ron and Joe will have a match waiting for him, that's for sure. Ron firing in a big 140. What can Joe do to respond? Immediate answer. Just shy on the second. And it looks like the third one deflecting into the fives. So unlucky, so unfortunate. Certainly a feeling that we all star players feel when your grouping is just so good that it refuses to follow suit, clattering against your darts into the other beds. Solid 94 put up by Ron. And Joe faltering just a bit in this leg. Ron taking advantage, but still a long way to go. Good find there on the third dart by Joe. 92 fired in. But again, Ron finding the triple bed so handily with another 140. Huge visit. Bringing his score down to a comfortable 82. And Joe, two trebles needed. Can't find it. Finds the one, but there's no out from 177. Which way will Ron go with the 82? Tries the 14 route over the bull. 68 left. Finds the triple 18. Leaving himself double 7, 14. Was choosing to go the 18 there to leave himself a bull. Might even stay there with two 18s, leave himself 32. A little bit of a math check. Realizing that he's leaving himself 14, not happy with it. If you can read lips, I'm sorry. Tell that Ron was not very pleased with what he left. Will he go for it? And he elects to, but he just can't find it, laughing a little bit. Knowing how close he was, realizing, oh, what he left himself. Joe with a lot of work from 177. 157 remaining after that first one. And things just not going his way, but will have to collect himself, focus on the next leg. Still a long way to go, and he's certainly in the lead here. Can't be too disappointed. Ron hunting down this double 7. He's got it in his sights. And he finds it with the third. Ron so clutch there with that third dart. Just squeaking it into the top left corner. And we have a game, ladies and gentlemen, in this second set. No sweeps for Joe. And he'll be laser focused, looking to get off to a good start here. 60's not a bad start. Again, Joe's consistency coming out to play once again. Does so well to keep his darts straight. What can Ron do? Unfortunately, second one firing to the 141. Probably pointing at that dart, saying how good of a blocker it was. And Joe put it in the exact same spot. They're laughing at it. They're too good. Monkey see, monkey do. I can place my dart where you do too. And walking away from that visit with only 30, nothing to smile about. Only 55. These guys starting to get a little sloppy here. Maybe get a little too friendly. Have to go and sharpen the swords. Realize that there's a match to play, not just a friendly. These guys are playing for some pretty big points in a berth into the finals. Against none other than, well, the man to beat for the night, Tom Curtin. And once again, the triple 20 bed remaining ever elusive. Joe doing well to find that third. 100 fired in. Hopefully this gets things going a little bit here. Ron struggling to keep his consistency up. Pushing his darts into the one segment. Doing well to find that triple 19. 61. Not the score that he would have wanted. Nobody ever wants just 1 over 60. And Joe, again, the grouping. Might just be his foe. Turns out to be his friend, 100. No out from 166. Ron looking to fire in a maxi. We'll have to settle for a 1-2-3, it looks like. And it is. Big visit from Ron to put himself back in contention for this leg, critically leaving himself an out. We have yet to see a showstopper out. Roberto owning the highest takes of the season 2 so far. No 161 going to be reeled in by Ron. And Dreamboat having to settle for smaller fish. Even then, 105. Leave himself very good. 56. 86 remaining. Can't find the triple. 68 remaining. Leaves himself 48. Asking a question of Ron. Can you find this 56? Finds the first. And he finds the second. Ron coming all the way back from 2 legs down to put pressure back on Joe. Saying, you're not going to get out of this too easy, buddy. We're going to go all the way for this one. And Ron playing incredibly well to give himself a chance to take this game 2-0 in sets. But he'll have to find in some better darts if he's going to rattle the cage of Joe. Great second. And a solid third. 100 right off the bat for Joe Ricard. And Ron realizing, I gotta get going here. Can he find another? And he does. 140. Big response. Hardly anything between these two guys as they battle it out for this second set. And Joe just not able to find anything in this visit. All over it. Ron continuing to hammer away. Another 100 visit fired in by Mr. Ron Sargent. He's got the wind in his sails, certainly. He'll be feeling good as he watches Joe fire in some darts. 81. Rounds it off well, but still behind Ron. A race to the bottom. There's one. Can't find the second. A third one slips away into the one segment. 81. Joe with a lot of work. A great deal of work from 260. And that 5 throwing a wrench into all of his plans. 85 is not enough. And you can see the frustration in Joe's face. Ron working on 137. Finds the first. Finds the second. Taking a step back. Taking it in. 2 10s needed for a huge out. And he just can't do it. The frustration from Ron. He would have wanted to end it there. Such a good look. Does very well to build it up. Goes just inside, but Joe knows he's not going to be able to take this in 3. And Ron doing a little bit of a lap as he settles himself down. Only a 50 fired in. So even with Joe's visit, Ron has a lot of daylight between him and Joe. Can he find it right here, right now? And he does. A clinical take coming all the way back from 2 legs down in the set. Clinching it, winning 3 straight. Ron finding the set.